3 attempts before, but she never crossed 63 in PT speaking. How did she manage to get 85 plus in the very next attempt? By learning with us.
Sir, maybe Jadoo did his magic.
Jadoo to hai. This is what we call it as a magical achievement. 63 to 85 in the very next attempt. All it takes is that you follow the advices that I give to you on my videos. Don't believe me? So we'll hear directly from the girl itself how she did it, what she did in order to get a 79 plus score in her very next attempt for PT speaking. So एक बार जोर से बोलो.
Jai Mata Di.
Arre, not that Pappu, but I can also do it like this girl by watching this video right till the end. Hey everyone, this is Anurag here from Edutrainex PTE. I hope you all are doing good. A true story of one of our students who live in Sydney, where I also live. So people don't believe it until they watch it from their eyes and hear it from their ears. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to present the techniques the usual way, but we will also substantiate the facts. What this girl used, did she use the techniques that I suggest, or did she improvise or whatnot? We will find that out everything in this video. So if you are taking the exam in this particular month or the very next month, it is important to know what is happening in the exam from a student's point of view, from a student's experience. And if you're really struggling with the PT exam, you can contact us for paid classes. We offer unlimited package as well for PT preparation with 3 months of app access and everything, all resources shared with you at no extra charge. Or if you are just looking for the exam questions, the prediction files, it's easily accessible from the YouTube channel itself. You just need to join our YouTube priority membership and you will get access to it. So let's begin. Like and subscribe and let's start talking what is happening in the speaking module and how you can still get 79 plus score just like the girl. So first things first, we would like to discuss and talk about pronunciation, because a student can't jump straight away to 85 by fixing their strategies or just the techniques. So we have to look closely at the pronunciation and the fluency levels as well. So because these are the basic scoring criteria that the PT software evaluates you on, and if you are struggling in these two, whatever templates, whatever techniques, whatever you do, you will not get a good score. That's for sure. So we would like to discuss the approach and the steps that this girl took and that you should also take in order to improve your pronunciation that can boost your PT speaking scores definitely. What is natural speaking? What is natural speaking? What is artificial intonations? How to improve pronunciation and how to get the best scores. So let's first listen to the student what she was struggling with the pronunciation, what feedback she got from us.
I was told to speak more naturally, the way I am speaking right now, not using any artificial accent actually. So very nice, smooth, the way I'm speaking and without hesitation. It's not like in a full stop, I'm not stopping myself. So I stop, have a breath, and then again. So speak more naturally the way you can speak. That gives a best result in a speaking section.
Okay, so you heard the student. Everyone struggles with pronunciation or fluency or both. Okay, so in this case, there was some problems with the accent. Why? Because she lived a long time in Australia and then she got to speak like the native speakers, but because it was not a natural speaking for her, because she was from Indian origin and she was trying to speak like an Australian, so it was not coming out very naturally. The pronunciation, the words, it sounded like artificials. Okay, so that is what was main reason in her pronunciation that was lacking. Is accent is not important, not at all. You can speak completely natural in the way you are speaking as long as you pronounce the words properly. If you are having the influence of the accent in your voice, then that is going to take your scores down. So you need to lose the accent. Okay, whatever accent you have, influence of accent is not very good for your scores. So I'm going to do the exam in the next month. So if you're speaking like that, you are having an influence of the accent. You have to speak clearly. I'm going to take the exam in the next month. See how the words are coming out. I'll show you the steps as well, what she took to improve the pronunciation. But yes, artificial intonations unnecessarily. You don't need to modulate your voice. I'm going to take the exam next month. You don't need to do that. Okay, just speak naturally and loudly. Okay, not like zor se bolo, what Pappu is saying. So you can get the best scores if the words coming out of your mouth are clear. How to improve the pronunciation? Very easy. Just find the pattern of the words. I have shared it in some of the videos. I'll show you the screenshot where you can find the steps to improve the pronunciation. And if you have joined us or you decide to join us as our students, you get detailed study plans for each of the module, for each of the skills that you need to work on to improve your skills and finally get a good score in the exam. And strategies, of course, strategies, templates are always there, right? So let's move on to the next part, which is fluency. Now, fluency, what do you understand by fluency? Smoothness, no hesitations. Okay, there is another thing I wanted to discuss here, which I saw in some of the students. Okay, they sound fluent, they sound smooth, but there is still a problem in their voice. What is the problem? There is no clear gap in between the words that you are speaking. So what is happening is when you are saying it in a flow, the words are coming out, multiple words are sounding as one single word. Okay, so you have to give very slight pause. That is a natural gap that we have to say. I'm going to give the exam next month. I'm not saying you to put a pause. I am going to. You don't have to speak like that. Speak naturally, but make sure whatever words you are saying are coming out fluently and clear, because that will make the PT software not being able to understand you. So in those scenarios, you have to sound clear. Okay, and hesitations, of course, no hesitations, smoothness in your voice, in a flow, no corrections. Same thing what I keep telling you, that still holds. Absolutely, that will never going to change. That is never going to change. And last thing is punctuations. Always respect the punctuation. They are there for the readers, the commas, the full stop, the exclamation mark, question mark, to give the readers an expression when they are reading. That's the main use of punctuations. Okay, it's for the readers, not for the writers. Okay, so when I see a comma, I take a slight pause. When I see a full stop, I take a slight pause again. When I see a question mark, my expression goes a little up. When I see an exclamation mark, I say like, wow. So the expression changes. Question mark. What is this? See, the tone goes higher. Okay, commas and full stop, just slight pause. Even for question marks, exclamation mark, you don't need to express that in particular expression way. Just pause a little bit. That should help. So what did this student lack in? Let's hear it from her. Did she lack in fluency? Absolutely, 100%. That's why her score was in 60s, right? Pronunciation is not there, proper fluency is not there. That's why you still in 60s. You can never jump to 79. You need to fix these two areas. Before I talk to you about the strategies and techniques she did in the exam, what she practiced, let's hear it about fluency.
I was hesitation a lot, like then stop, then speaking. Some words was very loud, some words was little bit slow. But when I start studying and then reading more often, then my pronunciation became very easy and goes with the one flow.
Okay, so you heard it. That's what you also need to implement. Fix your fluencies as well. Now let's talk about popular questions related to the speaking module, read aloud. What do we do? Do we use one-liner or skip difficult word strategy? Every time I make a video on speaking, there are hundreds of comments asking me about one-liner, whether it's still working, sir, how much score can I get, how much it will contribute to my reading, all sort of questions related to one-liner strategy. Okay, so I definitely do not advocate for this strategy because this is not our strategy, someone else's, but it is still working in the exam. What happens is there is a science behind it. Okay, small science. First of all, it will definitely impact your reading scores little bit, because if you don't speak 100% perfectly, then it impacts both your speaking and your reading scores. So what I'm trying to say is there are two strategies. The other one is easier and more effective. You skip the difficult words. Okay, if it is making you to fumble or hesitate, then you just identify. 40 seconds is given to you. That's enough time to find out which words are going to make me hesitate, or I can't pronounce, or I don't know those words. Just find them out, identify it, and then just skip it naturally. What I'm saying is, when you read the sentence, don't take a pause here to show that you are skipping a word. Just continue. Okay, so that is more effective because you are still reading most of the text. Now in one liner, you're only reading one sentence, and in one sentence, if you make the mistake, this is the science behind it. If you, in one sentence, if you make the mistakes, that will still be applicable to the whole score. Okay, and in terms of text, you have spoken lesser, so that will impact your reading scores. Absolutely. Unless you speak it 100% confident. Okay, if you're not able to do that, even one mistake can be costly in one-liner strategy. Let's see if this student use one-liner or skip the difficult words.
I pretty much try to read all words, Those were the tricky words. In the meantime, in the 40 seconds, I repeat so many times. So when I'm speaking in fluency, I can read that words easily. So I pretty much try to read every words if I can.
So did you skip any tricky words?
Which one I can see was very hard to speak? Yes, I skip one word. I can say I skip it. Otherwise, I try to follow all of the words.
Okay, as you heard, one or two words she did skip in some of the places. So even if you are reading it, like this particular sentence, scientists were impressed by the improvement in reported across all regions, whether it makes sense or not, grammatically, whatever. Skip the word. If you can't read it, skip discrepancies. Discrepancies. This is what is going to happen if you try to pronounce a difficult word. Okay, tongue twisting words. Just ignore it. This particular word, envisaging. So, do you know how to pronounce envisaging or envisaging? So, if you don't know clear pronunciation or you are still struggling how to pronounce it, just ignore it. So, I'll read the sentence like complex business, take a pause, there is a comma. So, I'll read it from here. Given the challenge of turning around such a large and complex business, this is certainly an start. Okay, so I didn't say envisaging, I just said start. So, that's how you do it. Let's move on to repeat sentence and find out what she did, because there are multiple questions around what type of questions we get. I also shared that information in the exam update video. But what do we do with the difficult ones? That is more important. Can we still get 79 plus score if we just say 50%? So these are the questions that we need to get answered. And let's try to find out for the difficult words, did she try to speak 50% or how did she speak? Did she speak it fluently or she made mistakes even in the 50%? So easy ones are easy, right? Because you hear everything, you just say the same thing. Moderate ones, you can still manage to speak more than 70%, definitely. Not very long. But the difficult ones, there is a clue here, but let's hear from the student first and then we will talk about it.
I try to remember as much as I can, especially a first part, and repeat with the same fluency. No hesitation at all. Whatever I am remembering, I am speaking that I am talking with you or I am talking, but it was very natural.
All right, so she did exactly the same thing that I have been telling you in my other videos. Exactly the same thing. And she got 85, okay, in speaking. So now you believe me that the repeat sentence strategy that I tell you, the 50% rule for the difficult ones. Easy ones, try to speak the whole thing. Don't try to, if the sentence is just 4 word, 5 word long, then still don't try to use 50% rule. I will just remember the 50%, first 50%, I will ignore the rest. If it is small, why do you want to ignore it? Say the whole thing. Maximize your scores. Try to get as much as you can. Even if your target is 50, aim for 65. If your target is 65, aim for 79. So even if you get a little bit less, you are still above your target. So that's how you should aim. And let's talk about how do we know whether we get difficult ones. This is the timer that you have to look at. If it says 8 seconds, that means 8 minus 3, which is this particular audio player's timer. So 8 minus 3 is 5 and you get 5-second long audio. If it says 10 seconds or 12 seconds, that means you are going to hear a longer audio. But if it is a quicker audio, there is no clue that you can use from these two timers. You just hear the nature of the spoken language. If it starts very quickly, that means you understand it is a difficult one. I have to try to listen to the first part and ignore the remaining part if it is a longer one, if it is a very fast one. So whatever you remember, speak it confidently, speak it fluently. That's the trick. That's the best trick that you can implement for repeat sentence. Still boost up your speaking scores, still boost up your listening scores as well. Now coming to the describe image and retell lecture. Now I have been sharing lots of information about these two topics, but people still contact me about questions related to templates, question related to manual checks. So I'll clear it again for you. Two things are very, very crucial for you if you want to avoid the manual checks. First of all, speak phrases, don't use memorized templates. Add your own phrase, whether it's grammatically accurate or not. It has to be a little bit relevant to the image, what you see on the screen. And speak enough content. So 30 to 35 seconds, definitely you have to speak. And if you are just using keyword based template or pre-memorized templates, you may not reach here because you will be out of content. Whatever is memorized is already spoken and you are speaking very fast to finish it in one flow. So that is something that you need to avoid. I have shared this kind of information in this video as well as in this particular video where it was introduced. I shared about the changes, what are happening in the speaking module, and gave you the study plan as well. So whatever scores you are targeting, you can watch this video and understand how we have to improvise. So let's hear it from her. Did she speak phrases? Did she speak for 30 to 35 seconds or not? Which is what I recommend to you always.
In a describe image, I definitely use a template, but I changed the word as well. It was a long phrases and I spoke around 30 to 35 seconds.
All right. So you just heard, okay, exactly what I told you. She spoke phrases, she spoke more than 30 to 35 seconds for the describe image and retell lecture questions. If you are aiming for a 79 plus scores or any scores to avoid the manual checks, you have to speak and follow this particular rules. Okay, now moving on to the steps. What steps did she take to improve herself? Now, very, very important thing to understand. And if you hear it directly from a student, then you will know how this guy or this girl managed to do that in a very record time. So let's hear it directly from her and then we will discuss it.
I attended all lectures. I got feedback from teachers on each task. Um, I learned where is my problem and how to improve as well. Followed the study plans step by step, and I practiced and improved.
Okay, so you just heard it from her. It's a cycle, repetitive cycle where you have to keep on getting the feedbacks from the teachers and then add it to your preparation. Improve yourself in your preparation. So attend the lectures first. If you are watching from the YouTube, you should watch the videos properly, take notes and prepare. Find out what your problems are and then make a plan. If you are doing it on your own, if you are studying with us, we give you the study plans. This is what you need to work on. We give you the feedbacks. This is what your problem is. This is what you need to improve and how to improve. Everything we provide. So feedbacks from educated or knowledgeable teachers is very important. Okay, the way I am telling you on the YouTube, these are very knowledgeable pieces of information. So you have to, even the feedbacks, if you get analyzed by yourself, if you are our student as a paid student, we provide that feedbacks to our student in the classes. Okay, if you are preparing by yourself, you will have to find a local teacher or someone who can help you locally, because if you WhatsApp me sending hundreds of voice responses, I will not be able to reply to you. Even our team will not be able to reply to you, right? Because you pay extra to get more benefits. That's how the world works. That's how the society works. Unfortunately, I can't change that, but I'm here to give you free knowledge. So you get feedbacks on the teachers and don't just get the feedbacks and forget about it. Just keep on doing practice. You have to identify the problem areas which will be given to you in the feedbacks, and then you have to improve. Work hard to improve on them. And then, of course, I talked to you about study plans. I've also shared with you the study plans in this video. So follow that, how to improve the pronunciation, how to improve the fluency, follow the study plan and then practice and then improve. So that's what this girl did, exactly following these steps. Let's also try to hear about her daily routine, because every one of you are working or student, very busy life. So let's hear what routine she managed, what time she devoted. So I have not put anything on the slide. Let's hear it directly from her.
I definitely made a routine in my life. Like every day, I go for read aloud, 30 to 45 minutes every day in each section. So, in a read aloud, suppose that practice 5 to 6 passages daily, focusing on pronunciation, on fluency. Every night, I read a storybook to my daughter, which improved my vocabulary, reading skills, and spelling. In repeat sentence, listen and repeat 10 to 15 sentences to improve my memory and pronunciations. The same with the describe image as well. Practice approximately 3 to 4 images and then asking any feedback from the teachers. I try my best to learn 14 new words each day and practiced using them. I also try my best to write one essay every day. And I remember I sent one essay to Sir, and he was very helpful. He corrected me that where I am lacking, and I tried to write down the new sentence and send it again. 3 days before my exams, I only focus on a mock test and try to just test and reviewing my mistakes.
Okay, so you know what kind of routine you also need to implement. Basically, it all depends on the problem areas that you have, how much time you need to dedicate in order to improve those. Okay, don't just think about, okay, next month is my target, my agent has given me. If it is going to take longer than that, or if you can manage much more time, main thing is fixing your problems first. If you fix your problems, you can do it in 7 days. If you can't fix your problem even in 1 month, then even 1 month is also less. So it's a very subjective question that people ask me. How long will it take to improve? It all depends on you as well and your capabilities, your dedication and motivation. Of course, we will show you the correct ways to do it, how to do it, but some steps are really hard, like losing the accent because you have spoken all your life like that. Okay, but if you implement the advices in the perfect manner, less amount of time, more amount of time, then definitely you will get the score because that is how the PT software works. We can't change anything about it. Okay, so समझ में आ गया? It's not a rocket science. All of you are capable of getting a 79 plus score. Absolutely, everyone is capable. You just need proper guidance like we give to our students. Even if you are watching from YouTube as a free student, implement the steps, implement the guidance, and then you will be there. And if you want to join our unlimited classes plan, just WhatsApp us. We'll give you the pricing and the structure and everything and the facilities as well. So what facilities you are getting is like 3-month app access for practice, mock tests, prediction files, templates, everything you get under one roof. Now, before you leave, I want to recommend to you some videos. Some videos I already showed to you on the slide specific to speaking. But if you want to get an experience of overall exam, what is happening in the exam right now, you should go and watch this video on the PTE exam updates for February 2025 if you're planning to give the exam this month or the next month. This will still be applicable. And by the way, this is from the same student who gave the interview, who gave her speaking experience in this video. It's from the same, and we have added our tips and strategies and techniques to that. Keep watching Edutrainex, and I'll soon be back with another video on PT topics, important ones. See you soon.